On the corner of Water and Highland, there's this house. I keep driving by it, and I keep wondering, what kind of a person puts these strange things in his yard? Finally, one day, I pulled over and decided to find out. Jerry Hall is a 51-year-old former miner and welder who runs his own landscaping business. During evenings and weekends, however, he's a self-made artist, making a variety of sculptures out of old water heaters, mufflers, and other found objects. When I told Jerry I wanted to make a video about him, he was more than happy to show me around.
Here, they'll have all kinds of stuff on the walls and stuff like that of mining. And on this side, it's also got different views. It's got donkeys on the door. It's got Japanese kind of visualizing in there.
Jerry's backyard is a fantasy world, which he considers less a yard than his own personal museum. He is currently working on a little mining town, complete with a colonized mining pit, which he expects to complete by the summer of 1997. Nearby, Jerry has built an observation deck, where visitors can view his creations from above.
Studio up here, so I can sit up here and do my painting and thinking and see the mountains, see? And then up on the 4th of July, you can see the fireworks really well. And I was going to have a studio, and I was going to put a jacuzzi up here and over in here where they couldn't see me, and have it all up here designed here so I could look at the mountains, get a different feeling up here, you know. These are girls, this is an old man and his girl, a little baby and his wife. I guess it's got an umbrella on, it keeps blowing off when the wind blows off. But we're just sitting there in the corner looking down at the weirdos.
Inside Jerry's house, there's an entire room devoted to the stainless steel city that will eventually populate the mine. This room contains many other odds and ends, including an indoor fountain.
I designed it so it goes after you to sort of come up here and the water come up here and fill up into here and fall down into there. One day this lady, I just been driving by for years and always wondering who made the stuff, and she was so tickled to death that she actually got to meet me and see me that she really made her whole day, you know, because she drove by her for years and wondered what kind of hermit lived in this house, you know, and who would do these kind of things. That's the biggest reason why I made it like this. I made it so people make people happy and smile and feel good when they look at it, and maybe take the thoughts away from their bad feelings, you know. And I think sometimes it works out pretty good that way.
It's interesting, first of all, and people stop by all the time and watch it, look at it. Sometimes you have a problem with people who block the thoroughfare. I've had a person who stopped in the middle of the intersection and started looking at it, and I was coming down and was trying to turn. But overall, it's a good thing. I like it.
I think it's really nice. It's really nice. And I think he does a good job on it because almost every day I go over there and I see him working on it with that little gun thing with the fire thing. And he does he makes lots of different things. He made this thing and he put his mailbox on it and other stuff. And and most of the times my cat goes over there. My cat always runs sometimes over there.
When I make a body, that would be good for a real small one, for like a little kid, a little boy, a little girl. Like this size here would be ideal for a man's size that's got a bigger body. Because a man's got a bigger body than a little kid, you know. So each one of them you can look at. This one here could be more into for a dog or a cat, it's just the shape of it all, you know. Yeah. It's just the way I look at them, and you see a different one like that. That could be turning a big long one, could be a nice piece for a cat.
When the owner of a Mexican restaurant saw what Jerry could do with old scrap metal, he hired him to construct a festive display at the drive-through window.
We just said we wanted a different kind of for a drive-through window, and I didn't want a typical commercial menu board. So what we thought is get something unique and interesting. for people when they're come by here. They pick up the menu there, and then they talk into this mannequin there. I don't know if you know, they talk to that other mannequin there.
I
And
didn't know
then
that.
the order goes into the window through there. And then, you know, we always wanted art here, and I really always appreciated folk art because it's a recyclable of the old materials. Well, it's supposed to be my family. That's supposed to be my wife, my daughter, my son, and that's supposed to be me.
So this is you, and yeah, I can see some resemblance.
And the mustache, huh?
Yeah. All right. Not far from the restaurant, Jerry's work is frequently on display at the Eleanor Jeck Gallery, an upscale art forum featuring pieces by prominent national and international artists. Jerry currently only has one sculpture on display, which can be found outside where it has made its home in some bushes.
I like art for art's sake, and I don't take it, his work is not to be taken too seriously. It's fun, it's happy, it's charming.
This is going back in another century as the witches and torturing people and stuff, and I was going to go and make the whole village like this. But then I figured, well, if I was getting involved in Western town, imagine how I would be living like this type of feeling, see? Guillotine, all this stuff, the torture feel, you know, he made it where it would turn around and this guy's hitting him on the head and got spikes in his head, and the vultures up here waiting for this guy to die, and the lights all lighted up red and made it look really gory, and light up here, you know, and come down here, and they were supposed to be like bringing them through the town, and they had the slavery, bringing the people pulling the wagon, and then they come up the stairs, and they forced them to come up the stairs and get killed, you know, and tortured. Back then times, the biggest reason was, I think it was because going through the depression of the divorce, and my kids were gone, and you know, after all, it was for 16 years you was married, and all of a sudden you don't have a family, you're by yourself, and you're lucky to get into a house, and I got into the house, and that's what stayed me was all my artwork, doing the artwork, because back sometimes I'd get mixed up with certain different people. People would drink, and some would smoke pot, and I went with girls that would be heavy drinkers and heavy spotters, and I was going the same direction as they were just smoking pot and sitting around watching TV and doing nothing. I said, well, I can't live my life like this. And so actually I would claim that and really believe that, and even today, that doing my artwork probably really saved me from going out the other ends of being an alcoholic or a heavy pot smoker, you know. And whatever, I might have maybe got mixed up with these bad girls at the time and would have had no life, and I would never continue on doing my artwork. This is what you call Cafe Madhouse. The reason why I built this is because I was just reminding you of the past, the western town, of people at a bar, that everybody's getting drunk, this guy's up here is drunk. But back then times, of course, when our party guys were all partying, so this is kind of like what I represented this with. These guys are all drunk, hanging over the edges. This one here is really funny, and this one here is kicking back. And then I said to myself, well, anybody can just build a building, but it's what you put inside of them, see? And that's the way I made it all like this. Every one of them is full of load-bearing people, and these are all load-bearing people. These kind of stuff that people don't really understand and appreciate what's involved in this. I mean, you can see where you see yourself, but myself, if somebody can really understand what's gone into just this right here, you really appreciate it, because all these little cowboys and all these girls and everything in here are little ball bearings. Well, you know, as being a welder for about probably 16 years or 17 years, welding is really boring when you're working on heavy equipment, because you're welding all day and you don't see nothing besides darkness in the metal and the weld all day. So when they laid me off, it was an opportunity to use my art ability and imagination, because when I was welding all the time, that when you're inside a welding hood, you know, you do welding so many years, it's so easy that your hands are working, but your mind is just totally dormant. So what I used to do was just think of something to do all the time, thinking what I'm going to do when I get home or what I'm going to make. Well, that's when I started thinking about this welding on my side artwork, where I started welding ball bearings together on my lunch hours. And so when the time I got laid off, that I really was lucky to have a time, because then I just let myself go free with my imagination and just did whatever I wanted to do for months and months and months. Well, we kind of changed that. This is a whorehouse, see. This is designed at the end of about in the end of the town, so when the cowboys came through, that the little girls, they used to call them hoochie girls, you know. See, this goes in the western town. See, this is the bad guy, and he's got the old ball and chain like they used to have. See, and they're escorting him up here, and then they're hanging him up here, and the old trap door. They pull the trap door, and then here's a preacher reading it, and here's the guys here, and they're hanging him. There's another one, see, same time. See, all these are back about the same time, see, in 1892. I did all this in 1 year. That's when I was going through all the hard times, see, in the Depression time. That's why I concentrated on it, because I picked out things that would take a long time, a lot of thinking, see, thinking how to do this, thinking how to make them, and that way I didn't have more thought about the other stuff, you know?
Well, sometimes I feel like a sculptor myself. I mean, he's out there doing his sculpture, and I'm in here trying to find a place for myself. It seems like it's his own little world. So I try to help him a little bit, you know, give him my opinions. Sometimes he likes it and sometimes he doesn't.
His wife does a lot of the painting, and she's very good. I mean, she really is very good. And so together it's a good team. And I don't know if it would be successful without her, actually. I think together they form a very good partnership. You should put another shirt on.
He's not taking my clothes, he's taking just the top part. I had to dress up like
The top part is just as bad.